Ah, shit. So, hi. Hi, everybody. Oh, man. Hi, TMT Mixes, Todd, Mike, Sunshine Jacobson. That's a new name. Stardust, Danny, Wendy, Hope April 8, Dallas Freelance Video. All of you, hello. Hello and welcome. What a weird night already. Oh my God. Okay. So here's the deal. I was looking for all the different songs that I was going to play. I had it all set out that, I'm going to tell you now what's going to happen. But I had everything planned. All the songs were picked. I had just done everything I needed to do, messed around with the lights. Everything was a go. But when I went to hit stream, nothing happened. It just didn't go online. And I went through all the computers in the house, turned them all off, made sure that everything was, doing what it's supposed to be doing. But apparently it did not work. So, I guess that's that. Oh man, and I couldn't control it. I was gonna be right on time. I wasn't gonna be late. I'm usually early, but it's just not happening. So, but welcome. This is the 59th, give or take, of the Quarren streams, and bearing that name, there will be one more, just one more. After that, I don't know what I'm going to call them. I'm going to occasionally, I guess, come back on and do stuff. You're definitely going to see me rehearse. I'm going to do more rehearsals. I'm going to do things like that for sure. But I can't guarantee you that I'm going to do, quote, live streaming every week. That I can't guarantee. Although I have to say, here, let me show you something. Oops, that's not what I wanted to show you. So I've got a show coming up. It's in Denver. It's going to be on July 24th. And obviously I'm getting ready for that. So what I'm going to be doing is a lot more rehearsing. So rather than trying to come up with fancy intros and do weird videos and do snippets and all the weird things that I was doing during the Quarren streams, I don't have time to quite do that right now because I've got to rehearse. And that means, getting ready for shows, certain sets, so forth. So what I may do is just call them rehearsals, and I may just jump in on Fridays and rehearse for a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be on for 2 hours. It could be that, it's 10 minutes of me doing the same song. It could be an hour of me doing an entire set, trying to get some vocal chops in and more practices in. So I think that's what you're going to see the most in the next coming weeks. On occasion, I may have to skip one because obviously if I have rehearsal at the rehearsal studio, I think I'm going to do it there. But we seem to be okay. I see that the signal's pretty darn good, actually, which is bizarre because it's on the wireless rather than the wired cable. You would think the other one would be faster, but I'm not going to say anything. It's working, so I'm not going to, Does everything sound okay? So far, so good, huh? All right. So, no weird fancy stuff tonight. I wasn't going to play anything or work on anything because, quite frankly, it's been a weird week. I always say that. I realize that I always say that, but it's been a pretty weird week. I had an opportunity to go to Vegas, but decided to not go to catch up on some work. And now I wish I'd gone to Vegas because I think I would have gotten some of the work that I had to get done. I think I would have gotten it done in Vegas better than at home by myself, which is really odd. I thought it was going to work the other way around, but it didn't. So it wound up being a strange week. A good week for art, though, but not a very good week for music, I must say. Well, I can't say that either. I don't know. So how you guys doing? How's everyone doing? How are you feeling now that everything is starting to open up? Good? Bad? I don't know. Sorry, since I'm not singing, I might as well bring the mic into talk mode. There we go. A little nicer. Mai says, so would you say that weird weeks are just the norm? Yeah, I think that most people could probably say that. For me, sorry, I'm going to adjust this microphone if I can. I always do this wrong. I guess most people would say that most of my weeks are weird. So weird is the normal for me. So I guess that's good. Ooh, someone says, I took a 2-week vacation and camped out the whole time. That clever swine on YouTube. That sounds awesome. That sounds like the best thing to do. And that's the funny thing is, okay, well, we'll talk about Vegas when I come back. I'm going to play something. I left my drink, so I'm going to grab a drink. You'll have time to grab your drink. I'm going to play another, I'm going to play Weird Things tonight. So this is from 19, and I'm going to play The Pain I Inherited, but this particular mix is a little different. Actually, it's a little better than the one that's on the album because I got to master this after the fact. So it's a little nicer in my opinion. So I'm going to turn the overhead on. I'll just turn that on and I'll be right back. Well, we'll put on the moon. I think that's more fun. Moon it is. Of course, nothing's working. Oh, there's the moon. I'll be right back. And you guys can hear this. So, so, um, so Steve, you're gonna be in the West Coast. That's awesome. I hope I get to see you. That would be cool. Um, but I don't know if it's work related or whatever. And we're having our conversation as we always do during the stream, which is what I do, you know. But we're all friends here. Um, Song threw me for a loop in a weird way. I was thinking of stuff, and then I got thrown into the music, which is really weird because you would think that wouldn't happen to me, but it still happens, which is why I picked certain songs today that I thought would hark back to all the other Quarren streams, and especially the first couple of Quarren streams. So I thought I would revisit some of the stuff that we played in some of those, and that's your music for the evening, I'm afraid. But I will get back to talking about what happened this week. So this week, I was working on art a lot. One of the challenges that we had was we were going to do a CD version of the Dead Stars EP, and I'm not saying it in past tense. We are doing it, but when I set out to do the artwork, I realized that some of the things didn't match. I couldn't just simply, you know, shrink down the artwork, and there was some other issues that I was having. But on the other hand, we could get away with certain things on the CD that we can't get away with on the 12-inch when it comes to the art. So I wound up basically working on getting that done and out. And I'm happy to report that it's out, which means we should have it back by, well, I want to say first week of August. It could be that the 12-inch and the CD arrive at the same time. The CD is obviously faster. But I think probably we'll put the pre-orders for CDs on Monday. Or I don't know. It's not up to me. I'm gonna let the label figure that out, since I'm actually just having to step back from that one. So I think it's good for me to not so involved in a weird way. But yeah, it's done. It's out to be manufactured, and I'm gonna focus a little bit of attention on to finish the artwork for the CD for the tribute record, which everybody wants me to put out on CD as well. That's harder because it's a double CD and it costs more. So it's been a bit of a pain to get that done, although I want to, because it's a wonderful collection, and I think everybody should have it who's an A-Box fan. But you know, it takes time. It's been a little rough. Now with shows coming, it means I get to work. Work means money. Money means releases, and I stay broke. It's kind of how it works. Whenever I make money, I release things and then I go broke. That's the general consensus of how things work in being an artist. But I am looking forward to getting back to the NFT stuff, because I've put so much into the 12-inch and waiting for certain bits to happen here. And then what am I going to do about shows and all this other stuff? Plus, not to mention, trying to avoid all media is almost impossible on my laptop, which I've realized I'm almost happy that the internet didn't work on this computer, because I try not to have the internet on when I'm in the studio, which is a good thing. But anyway, let's see what I'm seeing here. Everything's good so far. Yeah. Oh, so Mike is saying that Sunday night orders might be going live for the CD version, which probably means I have to give him a cover and all that stuff. But it's the same cover, so we're good there. But maybe I'll make a little something for that. I have to figure that out. But at any rate, Wendy says, I looked on Calaman and see one of two of the NFTs. So there's only two left of those. I may just scrap those last two, take a drawing, and give away the drawing at this point. That was the other thing. I got so ambitious with that stuff that I need to just, oh, that's nice of you, Wendy. She got two of them. Two of them. That's awesome. That might increase your chances when I do the shuffle and pick an address. But yeah, no, I sold quite a bit of them. The thing is, I picked the wrong experiment. There were so many other things I wanted to try, and I didn't do it. So, but anyway, that's another story for another day. I will be getting back into that because I've been doing a lot of art. I'm working on a piece that I have to tell you guys, it's the weirdest flipping thing. But anyway, before I get ahead of all of it, back to the week. So yeah, artwork for the CD version of Dead Stars. That's one of the things I've been working on. And I've been trying to learn all the different tools in Ableton Live 11 because I think I'm going to work on the next EP on Ableton 11. And mostly because of some random stuff that I love doing that it does really well. Although, to be honest, I've been on 10 long enough that I don't think I need to do it, but it might be fun. We'll see. But I'm still evaluating. But the truth is, I've been really happy about working on that EP. I hope you guys heard it last week. Whether you liked it or not, I'm working on it. I am going to work on that EP, but I actually listened back to it from the Quarren stream, and it's nothing like the real thing. Like, it sounds so much better from how it played out of here. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to definitely release the demos, and then I'm going to start working on all the songs proper, like in order. So anyway, so that's one of the things that I was working on. So I have tons of notes and things, and I'll show you that stuff when I come back, but I'm going to play something else. Let's go way back now. So one of the things I wanted to do was jump around in time a little bit. What the heck happened here? I don't know. Are you going to play? Everything's refusing to work tonight, which is like, no. I don't know why that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now I know. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to do something here. Crap. So funny. I'm going to play a different song, but one of the things I was going to play was some stuff that didn't make it on the releases. Now, this particular remix that I'm going to play is a fast forward remix. Is by a guy named Jared Ramey. I actually really love this mix, and I definitely had wanted this to be on the single, and that never happened because it was 36 remixes or whatever, and I don't know. But I think I'm going to find a spot for this somewhere because this particular mix, I really love it. I loved it so much that I wrote to him and I said, I want your stems because this is the version that I might play live once in a while. And so I want to get all the parts and, mess around and try to figure out like what my parts would be because I love that remix so much. So it's because it sounded very Anything Boxish to me. So I'm going to play that next, although that's not the one I planned on playing next, but I'm going to play that one next. And then I'll come back and hopefully the other song is back. No, I don't know why this stuff happens to me, but here's the song. Good job, man. You did a really good job. I'm saying this because he's listening and he's in the house. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, you did a good job on it. And it deserved to be out. Like I said, I've said this before. I have never, ever gotten so many good remixes for a song ever. Like, it was the craziest thing to have 36 remixes and just go, how the F do I pick from this? But there were about 8 or 9 that I thought were really, really good. And honestly, this was one of the 9. So I definitely have my favorites that maybe one day I'll just put them all on Bandcamp or something. But God, this one I really like. So yeah, so I was working on art, as we were talking before. I was working on art and trying to work out like production stuff for the EP. I'm trying to keep it simple because the demos were recorded live in real time. So I want to kind of keep that spirit, but just get it on a grid so that I can later go back and add parts and whatnot. Although technically speaking, I could put those 24-bit files, well, they were 16-bit actually, but I could put them on Ableton and map out a grid, but I want to record them from scratch and see what I can do with them. But it's also a good lesson in what happens between demo and finished product, especially in regards to the studio, because honestly, in the old days, we had crap equipment. Well, not all of it was crap, but we had crappy everything. Our mixers were crappy. Our microphones were crappy. Everything was crappy, but I still love those demos. I love some of the demos that we had in the very beginning because they had a lot of raw energy. So I like the idea of something having raw energy that you're able to capture, if that makes any sense. But, it's harder to do for some reason these days because you get trapped into I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to tune this, I've got to have, it gets a little weird. So I'm trying to get away from all of that stuff, find some new ground to play around in, and experiment. I think if I do this right, there will be more releases because I'll experiment with things. So it'll be like, here's 3 songs I did with a drum machine and a bass guitar. Done. Here's a song I just did with a bunch of string sections. Done. That's kind of like where I'm going with this. I want to start just recording more and trying to up the release schedule a little bit. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong and there's nothing to be said and nobody cares. And that's fine too. But I think I have to do it for myself. But I was telling you about the painting I was working on, which is a completely different thing, but not really. I have this painting that I'm working on downstairs that is pretty big, but it can't be sold. It can't, I don't know how to explain it. It's done with liquid rubber. It's done with cutouts and all kinds of stuff. But basically nothing's in place. So the idea is I'm going to photograph this and it's going to be NFT'd. And then I think I'm going to take the pieces of it and have to cut it up because the way that it's structured, it couldn't be sold to anyone. I don't know how someone would hang it, frame it. I don't know how anything would work on this piece that I'm working on. But it's very strange. And so it's almost a weird pop art sculpture. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm going to take pictures of it when I'm done. And I think that's where my headspace is for that EP, is to try really weird art things. And the only disappointment I have about this week is that I I did fail at one thing that I wish I'd done. One of which was go to Vegas. I wish I had gone, but I didn't. Hopefully, we'll be able to do another Vegas trip soon. But anyway, it was tough to get through all of that stuff and all the ideas that I have in my head, which is a lot. So it's a lot of soul searching this week. Also, the idea that shows are coming back. Do I feel prepared? I'm starting to feel much better about it. And obviously, I will be. I have almost a whole month now, and it's going to be straight up rehearsals for the next couple weeks. So, like I said, count on catching rehearsals more than just streams. So I'm going to work on a lot of rehearsals for that particular show. So, but a lot of stuff happening. Anyway, so I'm going to play an old demo now. Now I'm going to go backwards. So this is one that I think I played on the 7th Quarren stream. So I don't know how far back everyone goes with these things. So, jumping around. So this was like either 7 or 8. I don't know. It was one of those. This is a rehearsal that I was able to grab off of Reel to Reel when the quarantine stuff started. I had this Reel to Reel that I had bought, and I decided to do some transfers. And this was one of the first things that I unearthed. And it's a funny rehearsal because it's a song we never recorded. So this song, let's see, what's it? So this is a rehearsal in Paterson, New Jersey. And this rehearsal was probably, because obviously these tapes aren't dated in any way, but I have a feeling that this was, I want to say 1987. So we're going back a lot. And this was recorded in what we used to call the music room, which basically meant I had my setup. There was 2 speakers on the other side of the room. Everything was recorded live. We would just hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, hit record and go for it. But this was recorded to reel, but it was literally a rehearsal. So I'm going to play a few things from there, but I'm going to start with this one because it's funny. This is called Memory of Love. And I think I've only played it once, but here we go. We'll turn on the overhead for this. I like the overhead. That way you guys can't see the expressions on my face. That was on purpose. So Cosmoworks Tapes on YouTube said he's got a Shure Prologue. And then I realized that's what the mic was. It was a Prologue. Thank you for that. You reminded me of it. I kept thinking it was an SM25 or something like that. And I was trying to find like what those went for. And I remember now it was the Prologue, and we had two of them, and they were $25 at the time, new. I don't know what they go for now, but I would say that the Prologue was the poor man's version of the SM58, and which is really funny because I can't stand SM58. I can't stand SM58s. If you ever see me on stage and there's an SM58 in my hand, just know that I'm very unhappy, which is why you will probably never see me with one, because I carry my own microphones with me and I always give it to the engineers and they just go, ugh, why are you making me use a mic that I don't want to use? They always want to use SM58s. I can't stand them. I don't like them. Because I think they sound like this. I think SM58 sound like this. I can't stand them. So I carry an Eevee Cobalt and I use that live, which I tend to just favor. And my weird snare mic, which I'm actually looking into more about snare microphones, because it as it turns out, what it is I think I like about snare drum mics is that they accentuate attacks. And so I think that the way that I sing can be sort of, it goes between staccato and sustained notes. So I think they work on me. So that's why I tend to favor those kind of microphones. But anyway, getting back to rehearsals and things. So whenever I say rehearsals, there are times when I'll play a rehearsal and I'm like, I can't believe that, it came out so bad. But that's why we used to rehearse. We would rehearse to work out bits and pieces of songs, what's going to work, what's not going to work. But someone said, like singing with a mask on. Oh, that's funny. That won't happen with me. But I should have done that in one of the Quarren streams, though. That would have been funny, to try to sing with a mask. I might do it still, just because I think that's funny. But at any rate, rehearsals are one of those things where you're testing out stuff. The problem is that we could not differentiate rehearsals and recording back then. So a lot of times stuff that we rehearsed wound up on a demo tape, or something like that, which is great. I'm all for it. I think everyone should do that. That's how you learn. But nowadays, most people start from the ground up in production mode. And I think that in some cases, you could lose the song because you haven't played with the song enough as a song before you committed to the production of it. Whereas if you're starting, better stated, if you start a song as a demo, meaning you're just writing it, all you have is your basic chord, your voice, how you think it should go, and you can practice that a whole bunch of times. If you do that before you start the actual process of production, I think you're going to know much better if it's a good song versus you got an idea for a song and you're just going to start piling up on the tracks. And then finally, when it's all done, you're going to sit down and write the lyrics. And I think when you do it that way, you lose stuff. And we're going to find out if that's true, because that's what I'm going to do with this EP. I'm going to record it. Now that I've recorded the entire thing in demo form, now I'm going to go back and record the songs proper and see how they either get better, different, or worse, which is, Sean on Facebook says, amazing surprises come out of rehearsals and jam sessions. Where I learned that the most was from New Order. In some early New Order interview, Barney said that they would just rehearse and jam. And the rehearsals and jam is where they basically learned new songs. And that's where the new songs came from. And I think they kind of lost that when they would now go, because I would argue that nowadays they go into the studio with the idea, I'm going to record a record. We're going to make an album. And that's not the same process as let's get together, let's play, let's see what happens when we're messing around. There's a very big difference between the two things. And I think a lot of bands go through that phase where they hold themselves up in a place to record and they find that nothing's really happening because, everyone hasn't spoken to each other in 5 years and the infighting and all that kind of stuff that happens. You cannot have that kind of inspiration based on those things. It has to happen from that natural feeling like, where have you been all week? Let's get together and make this happen and play. And that's where I think magic happens. That's me personally. That's from my own experience. But so that said, I'm going to play another one that's a rehearsal. Shed a little more light. There we go. So, but an interesting thing did happen today that I want to tell you about. But I'll save it. I'll save that for when I come back because I got to tell you about something cool that did happen today when I was preparing for the Quarren stream that just is it's good news. It is good news. For me, it is. But we'll see how you take it when I come back. All right. So, moon overhead. So this song is called Well, it's another rehearsal. This one's World Without Love. It's a rare rehearsal. And this one I think is from 86.